Have you ever wondered whether hypnosis actually works, or if it's just people pretending? Maybe you've seen stage hypnosis. Maybe you've watched a movie where someone was hypnotized against their will. Or maybe you thought something like, I'd love to try hypnosis, but I don't think I could ever be hypnotized. If you've ever had any of those thoughts, you're not alone. And that's exactly what we are here to discuss in today's Mindful Monday. So if it's your first time joining us, feel free to type in the comments where you're coming from, any questions or comments you do have, as well as any topics you'd like to hear more about in the future. Also, you want to make sure that you stay until the very end of this video to find out how you can receive some free gifts, including hypnotic audio on releasing limiting beliefs. Now, getting back to our topic of hypnosis. Those questions are some of the most common ones that I hear as a clinical hypnotherapist in my office these days. People call up all the time and ask these. So the good news is, most of what people actually believe about hypnosis, it comes from entertainment. It doesn't come from science, all right? Those movies make great movies, but they are movies. So today I'd like to pull back the curtain and show you what's really happening inside your brain during hypnosis. Because when you understand the science, hypnosis becomes far less mysterious and much more empowering. So let's start with one of the biggest myths. Myth number 1. Hypnosis is mind control. It is not. You cannot be made to do something that goes against your deeply held moral values simply because you're hypnotized. Also, I would not be doing that. But clinical hypnosis is not about losing control. It's about learning how to use your attention more intentionally. So think about the last time that you became completely absorbed in a good book or a movie, or while driving a familiar route, and suddenly realizing that you don't remember the last few miles you drove, right? We call that highway hypnosis. Your body was driving safely. Your conscious attention simply drifted. That's called basically everyday hypnosis. So your brain naturally moves into a focused state throughout the day. And focused awareness is what hypnosis really is. Clinical hypnosis simply guides that process with intention. Now let's talk about what's happening inside your brain. Your brain is constantly producing electrical activity known as brainwaves. Different brainwave patterns are associated with different states of awareness. When you're actively solving problems or concentrating, your brain is often operating in a faster pattern. When you begin relaxing or breathing deeply, closing your eyes, allowing your attention to narrow, your brain naturally begins shifting into slower patterns often associated with calm focus and increased receptivity. Now, this isn't sleep. It's actually a state of focused awareness. You're usually able to hear everything that's going on around you, and you know where you are. You could open your eyes whenever you chose. However, you're simply directing more of your attention inwards. Researchers using brain imaging have found that hypnosis can be associated with measurable changes in how different areas of the brain communicate with one another. Some studies even suggest that during hypnosis, the brain may become less focused on constant self-monitoring and more open to new perspectives and suggestions. Now, while researchers continue to study exactly how this works, the evidence supports hypnosis as a genuine psychological state that can influence perception, attention, and behavior in meaningful ways. That's important because your subconscious mind is where many automatic habits and emotional responses are stored. So think about tying your shoes. You probably don't consciously think through every movement of it anymore, right? Your subconscious has learned the pattern. And the same thing happens with emotional responses. Perhaps someone criticizes you, and without thinking, you immediately feel anxious, or rejected, or defensive. Those reactions often happen automatically because your brain has learned associations over time. Hypnosis helps create an opportunity to interrupt those automatic patterns and introduce healthier ones. Let's talk about another myth, something like I'll be unconscious. Actually, most people remember nearly everything that happens during a hypnosis session. Many folks tell me afterwards, I felt like I was awake the whole time. Exactly, because hypnosis isn't unconsciousness. In hypnotherapy, we need you to actually speak back to us anyway. So it's more of a focused awareness. And another myth, only weak-minded people can be hypnotized. Untrue. Research suggests almost the opposite, in fact. People who can concentrate well, use their imagination, and follow instructions often respond the most beautifully to hypnosis. Hypnosis is not about weakness. It's about the brain's natural capacity to focus. Now let's look at why suggestions during hypnosis can feel so powerful. Imagine biting into a fresh lemon right now. You might picture cutting it open and see those juices glistening, or imagine bringing that slice up to your mouth and taking a big old bite and letting the juice and the fruit run over your lips and gums and down your throat as you swallow it. That's right. And did your mind begin producing more saliva? Or what else did you notice? Many people actually salivate to this. And yet, nothing actually happened. I cannot send a lemon through your screen and into your mouth, but your brain responded to imagination. And that's because your nervous system often reacts vividly to imagined experiences as if though they're meaningful, as if though they're true. This same ability allows athletes to mentally rehearse performances, musicians to practice mentally, public speakers to visualize successful presentations, and so much more. Hypnosis simply harnesses this natural ability in a structured therapeutic way. Now, it's important to set realistic expectations, however, because hypnosis is magical, but it is not magic. It does not erase memories. It does not force change. Instead, it creates a state where learning new emotional responses, perspectives, and habits can become easier because your critical, analytical mind is less dominant and your attention is more focused. Think of it like preparing soil before planting seeds. Healthy suggestions are more likely to take root when the mind is relaxed, engaged, and receptive. So for today's demo, I'd like to give you the opportunity to experience this for yourself. And not because I expect you to believe in hypnosis, but because personal experience is often the best teacher. So as you discover how naturally your own mind responds to hypnosis, you may realize something surprising, right? That you've probably entered hypnosis or hypnotic states many, many times before. Many, many times, thousands of times possibly throughout your life. So today we're simply doing it on purpose. Now, if you're somewhere safe, feel free to make yourself comfortable. And if it is safe to do so, you can get into a chair or lie down if you prefer. And take a slow and comfortable breath in. And then gently let it go, just allowing your eyes to close down. And as you do so, you can notice your shoulders beginning to soften and your jaw relaxing. Your breathing becomes slower and easier. And you can simply become curious about what your own remarkable mind is capable of. As you continue breathing comfortably, notice that there is nothing you need to force, nothing you need to make happen. Hypnosis isn't something that's done to you. It's something you allow yourself to experience. Just as you naturally become absorbed in a favorite movie, a beautiful sunset, or a captivating conversation. Your mind already knows how to enter focused states of awareness. Today, you're simply allowing that ability to work in your favor. That's right. And take another slow breath in. And as you exhale, imagine releasing any expectation about what hypnosis is supposed to feel like. There is no right way, no perfect experience. Some people feel wonderfully relaxed, and some notice their thoughts drifting. Some folks feel light, and others feel pleasantly heavy. Some experience vivid imagery, and others simply enjoy a sense of calm. Whatever your experience is exactly right for you. Now gently, bring your attention to your breathing. Notice the coolness of the air as you inhale and the warmth as you exhale. Allow each breath to become just a little slower than the one before. Imagine with every exhale your body settling deeper into comfort. Your forehead softens, and your eyes relax, and the jaw unclenches, and your neck simply lets go. Your shoulders become comfortably heavy, and the arms relax, and the hands soften, and the chest rises and falls effortlessly all by itself. The abdomen becomes loose, and the hips heavy, and the legs relax. The feet rest comfortably, your whole body supported, your whole mind becoming quieter. Not empty, simply quieter. That's right. Now imagine you're standing in front of a beautiful calm lake. The water is perfectly still. Its surface reflects the sky like glass. And this lake represents your subconscious mind. When the water is stirred by constant activity, it's difficult to see beneath the surface. But as the water becomes still, everything becomes clearer. Notice how peaceful it feels here. As you kneel beside the lake, looking into the water, you don't see your reflection. You begin seeing moments throughout your life. Small memories, important memories, ordinary memories. You notice how your brain has been learning from every experience, always trying to protect you, always trying to help you predict what comes next. And so silently thank your mind. It's worked tirelessly for you, even when some of those patterns no longer serve you. Now imagine holding a smooth stone in your hand, and this stone represents every misconception you've ever carried about hypnosis, or perhaps about your own ability to change. Notice its weight. Maybe you've believed things like change is hard, or I've always been this way, or nothing works for me, or my brain can't change. Simply notice those thoughts and any others, without judgment, and now gently toss the stone into the very center of the lake, and watch the ripples spread, and then slowly disappear. The water becomes still once again, and notice how much lighter you feel. Now imagine another object appearing in your hands, and this one is warm, glowing softly, and it represents curiosity, possibility, openness, and you gently place it over your heart. And as you do, a feeling of quiet confidence begins spreading throughout your entire body, and not because anyone has convinced you, but because you're allowing yourself to become open to new experiences. That's right. Quietly repeat after me in your mind. My mind is capable of learning. My brain is adaptable. Every day, my subconscious supports healthier choices. I am open to positive change. I trust my own inner wisdom. And allow each of those statements to settle naturally. No effort required, just allowing. Now imagine yourself walking along a peaceful path. With each step, you notice your mind becoming clearer, your thoughts becoming kinder, your breathing becoming easier. Every step represents another opportunity to respond differently than you did yesterday. You no longer have to react automatically. You can pause, breathe, choose. Your subconscious is learning, growing, updating, creating new pathways that support calmness, confidence, resilience, and flexibility. And notice a beautiful doorway ahead, and above the doorway are the words possibility. And as you open the door, you discover a room filled with light. On the wall are hundreds of doors, and each one represents a new possibility. One says confidence, another one peace. There's one for healing, one for abundance. There's a healthy one. There's a relationship one. Another one says joy. And you realize something profound. These doors have always been here. You simply hadn't noticed them before. So walk toward the door that feels most important to you today. Go ahead and place your hand on the handle. open it up and step inside and notice what you experience. Allow your subconscious to show you exactly what you need. Perhaps it's an image, it could be a feeling, a color, maybe a memory, or simply a deep sense of knowing. And stay here for a few quiet moments. That's right. Now gently close the door, knowing you can return anytime. And as you walk back, notice yourself feeling lighter, more hopeful, or trusting. And not because everything outside has changed, but because something inside has begun changing. And before leaving this beautiful place, silently repeat in your mind, I don't have to fear change. My mind is designed to learn. My subconscious is my ally. I trust the process of growth. Every day I become more capable, more confident, and more peaceful. Take one final slow breath in, allowing these words to settle deeply within you, knowing your subconscious continues integrating these healthy patterns long after the session ends. And begin bringing your awareness back to your breathing, noticing the room around you, feeling the surface beneath you, maybe wiggling those fingers and toes as you take another deep, refreshing breath in, feeling clear, grounded, present, and when you're ready, let that breath out, open your eyes, feeling relaxed, curious, and empowered, and perhaps with a deeper appreciation for the incredible capabilities of your own mind. That's right, welcome back. If today's experience surprised you in any way, that's perfectly normal. Many people discover that hypnosis feels far more natural, far more empowering, far more like meditation than they ever expected. Now remember, hypnosis isn't about giving up control. It's about learning how to direct your attention in ways that support the life that you want to create for yourself. So this week, I'd like you to become curious. Notice the moments when you naturally drift into focused attention. Notice how powerful your imagination really is. Because once you understand how your mind works, you can begin working with it instead of against it. That's right. Now, if you like a free recording and some other gifts, simply type the word mindful in the comments or private message me the word mindful and then follow the link, which I'll then provide. If you'd like to work one-on-one to rewire your mind even deeper, I'd love to hear from you. You can reach out via email at unwindthemindllc@gmail.com and or check out the website www.unwindthemind.com. Until then, trust the process, train your mind, and keep breathing into your power. If you enjoyed today's video, please like, subscribe, and share it with a friend in need or someone who's always been curious about hypnosis, right? And in the future, we look forward to seeing more of you. Hope you had a wonderful Mindful Monday. Oh, and in the comments, I would love to hear one thing. I would love to hear what surprised you the most about this hypnotic experience. All right, have a great Mindful Monday, and I'll see you next week.